I took the bar in Nevada in 1979 and passed, and so when I was sworn in, that group of women then, we were among the first 100 women admitted to the bar in Nevada. So many of us, though, chose what had been non-traditional paths and the practice of law. So I worked at the city attorney's office, then 2 years later, 3 years later, after the MGM Grand Fire, I left and went into private practice with Vargas and Bartlett. And there my mentors were, as always, Chris Kempfer, Tom Kummer, and we worked on the MGM Grand Fire case. So I developed an expertise in architecture, engineering malpractice, fire cause and origin, and all sorts of what would be certainly not female related, not family law. I never did family law. In fact, I never got married, so I never had to do family law. So what we did was there were a whole critical group of women who were doing architecture engineering malpractice, insurance defense, and they were all practicing before judges who were not used to seeing young women attorneys come in and know how engineering works or how planes fly or how to cross-examine a witness. And it was very clear that there were some entrenched attitudes, shall we say, but I was lucky enough, and many of the other women of my generation, shall we say, young women practicing attorneys in the late 70s, early 80s, had these wonderful mentors. I remember there was a challenge by the fire department, city fire department. I was their attorney when I was still at the city attorney's office, and I remember there was a complaint. And I remember Russ Dorn was the city manager, Sam Smith was the fire chief, and Russ Dorn told the fire department, she's your lawyer. There will be no complaints about we don't want the girl lawyer or we don't want the woman lawyer. And they stood up for me. And I know that Tom Kummer did that as well, and I know Chris Kempfer did, and Mike Bonner and Greg Naskey at Vargas and Bartlett, because they stood up for us and said, she's a good lawyer, it doesn't matter what gender she is, but she's yours, get along with her. So they did. And I think that that was critical. I think all of the women like the Lisa Lavelles and the Shelley Berkeleys and the Jerry Schwartzers, Carolyn Ellsworth, all of those women who are practicing in various aspects of the law comported themselves so very well in court that we proved that women, you could be a woman and a good lawyer at the same time.